Stitchery Decor. So we're getting going here today. I'm just getting my camera set up here a little bit. I see I've got to move some fabric out of the way or we're not going to have room. But welcome to the channel. We're going to sew a jelly roll rug here today. As soon as I get going, I know it takes you guys a couple of minutes to get in here anyway. So we'll go back to the channel here. I got to bring you guys up on my live and see if we can find the live stream. Hopefully this is coming live. Good morning. Welcome. Just get back out of here for a second. I want to bring you up on my screen so I can actually interact with you guys because I can't see the camera here. We've got some big deals here today. I just got a code for you guys for Black Friday, which is pretty exciting. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the channel. Okay, who have we got here today? All right, if you're new here, hi, I'm Jolene. I'm from Home Stitchery Decor. I have this huge craft business. I teach what I do here on my YouTube channel, and today we're going to make a jelly roll rug, so long as my camera stays on. I didn't charge my battery full stop today. So this is the fabric that we're going to use, and it is from Connecting Threads. So Connecting Threads is an online fabric seller, and they have a very good deal for Black Friday. I put the link to get into it in the video description, and then I put my code, which they gave me for Black Friday sales, so you get 30% off their fabric, and not just jelly rolls, but all kinds of other fabric too. I'm not sure if they still have this exact fabric in there, but they do have another green one that I was eyeing up, and I might order that after this live. So if you're not familiar with the rolls of fabric, they're 2.5-inch strips of fabric, and there's 40 in a roll, and they come in coordinated colors. So this makes it really simple to make a jelly roll rug, or a fabric strip rug. Hi, Granny. Welcome to the channel. Connecting Threads has really good shipping for both US and Canadian sellers here. I'm tripping on my words here this morning, but we will get going. So for the first part of the rug, I'm going to use my Singer Heavy Duty. I know that I don't want the white to be the outside of the fabric, and that's the last of the roll. So I'm just going to pick a random spot here within the fabric, and I'm going to just replace this white someplace else so we don't have a white on the outside of the fabric. Say hello, tell us where you're from, you guys, if you're watching. Okay, so what I should have done first is actually grab my garbage can and shook this fabric out into it, because it's got these little peaked edges on it, and it's giving a little bit of lint. And I'd rather not be cleaning that off my shirt all day. So just give it a shake. And you'll see me come and go here. And when you're watching, going, what the heck is she watching on her television? I'm watching you guys up here so that I can see the comments as they come through. Okay, welcome. We do need to move this fabric a little bit because you guys have got that in the way. All right, so here on the channel, we have a huge members only giveaway, which is currently valued at $835. Paid members of the channel get in on the draw. The huge pile of stuff here behind me is what it is, and I'll show you what's in the pile in a few minutes. The discount code to get the jelly roll fabric is in the video description, and it's a Black Friday sale. So you'll get 30% off your fabric orders if you use my code. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to sew the strips together. First, we're going to miter the strips. So you need the first strip to be face side up, going this way with your sewing machine. Grab your second strip. You're going to have it right side down. So we're going to sew right sides together. You need it going this way with your sewing machine. And you're basically just going to make a little square like this, and then you're going to sew the diagonal this way. So place them down, turn, and then I always do a bit of a back stitch on either end so they don't come apart as we're sewing, and we're just going to do this as quickly as possible. I have been at Christmas markets, and now I need to sew more rugs before my next Christmas market next weekend, which is going to be an insurmountable task because I oversold. I didn't expect to sell as many rugs as I did at the first market, so now I'm playing catch up here a little bit. And I think I sold, I think it was 83 rugs over 2 weekends, which is crazy. But anyway, I'm from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I teach everything I do right here on my channel, so be sure to subscribe to the channel if you like stuff like this. I sew rugs, dish towels, soup bowl cozies, placemats, pillows, table runners. What else do I show? So I do dishcloths, I do my own card collection, I do my own art collection, and every single thing I do, I teach here on the channel. I do fridge magnets, all kinds of crazy stuff. So right now we're making a jelly roll rug, and we're just sewing our fabric together. When we, after we've sewn the diagonal of this, so you had one right side up, the next one right side down, you made a little square, you turned it, and you sewed on the diagonal. Later we're going to trim this little triangle off there. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Something keeps catching my hair back here. I don't know what it is. It's really freaking annoying me. It's like one little thing pulling on my hair. Okay, it is going to be absolute madness here today. It's 11 a.m. I did take this morning off just to sit and have a cup of coffee, basically. And now my husband's gone super late today, so I get to spend the rest of the day in my sewing room. But I'm glad I had a minute this morning to just sit and enjoy a cup of coffee. Where's everybody from? I should try to bring you guys up on my other screen, and then maybe I could see how many people were actually here as we're watching this. 4. That's not enough. Mute. There we go. 4 watching now. So now I can see how many are watching. Who is here this morning? Has anybody else made a jelly roll rug? This part is a little bit tedious, but it's so worth it in the end. From Ohio, hi Brenda. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. We're sewing a jelly roll rug here this morning. This is fabric from Connecting Threads. And I'm going to sew a 40 strip rug today. Hopefully we can get it all finished on the live before my camera dies. We have to go super quick if we're going to do that. I'm using, this is 100% quilt cotton fabric. If you haven't seen the actual short form tutorial, that is also on my channel. It's the main video on the main, if you go back to my channel and you see the first video there, it's the jelly roll tutorial for the rug, which is like a 20-minute video where I walk you through all of the steps. And I have my camera right up here so that you can see everything as we go. And I just got my threads stuck here. Let's see. Oh, that shouldn't be too bad. From Ohio. So right side up going this way, and then right side down going this way. Make a little square. Looks like this. Turn it and sew it on the diagonal. So turn it to the right and sew it on the diagonal. Do a few stitches to make everything stay in place, went at the beginning and at the end of that, and that will be easier in our next step to make sure the fabric doesn't pull apart as we're making the tube. Questions, concerns, comments. We don't allow complaints here. I'm hoping some of my regular girls see this. I know, is it, well, it's Black Friday in the States, so I imagine a lot of you guys are out shopping. But don't you have Thanksgiving right then as well, on the same weekend? I'm from Canada, so our Thanksgiving was a couple of weeks ago. I think it was like 3 weeks ago, to be sure. But I thought I'd do a live anyway, even though I know that there's going to be a shortage of viewers here today, just simply because I have to get these rugs out. My next Christmas market starts on Friday, and if I had 300 rugs going into it, I'd be in good shape, but I don't. So that was poor planning on my part, I suppose, because I sold too many at the last one. I didn't think I'd sell as many high ticket items this year with the economy. Oh, yours is next week. So Black Friday happens like a week before Thanksgiving? Because is it, like, I understood that Black Friday is now, but maybe I'm, like, the code I just got from Connecting Threads works right now. So if you're looking for Jelly Roll fabric, please use my code in the video description. There's a link to go into the site and then use my code. And you'll get 30% off. But yours is next week. Interesting. I always thought it was like Black Friday and then Thanksgiving, like right away. Weird. We don't do Thanksgiving in Scotland. I know. It's a Canadian and American thing to how would we put it into words? What are we we're celebrating, like, I know when it started, but I have trouble sometimes with history putting it into words. Colonization or something like that, I think it was. So if you're not from Canada and the United States, Black Friday is the day after Thanksgiving. Stores and sites are opening up sales now. Huh. You know, isn't it kind of annoying that everybody has to do everything early? Like, we can't just, we had, for instance, Halloween night. I was watching Christmas commercials on Halloween night. I'm like, for the love of God, people, can you not just let the kids get their candy before you start inundating them with, you know, the next big thing? Like, how does everybody not just have social anxiety, like, every minute of the day? Crazy. So Black Friday is the day after Thanksgiving. Stores are opening up sales right now. And I guess Connecting Threads is no different. They've started their Black Friday sale, and it is Friday, so I just assumed Black Friday was today. And I was on Amazon yesterday, and there were like boatloads of Black Friday sales on Amazon as well. Okay, 40 strips of this will go, you know, pretty quick. So what should we do for... How many viewers are here now? 4. Not a lot of people here today. Well, it is what it is. Sometimes when I do these lives, I'll get like 20,000 people on them. Bananas. Like, one live I did, I had, it was like 22,000 people that watched the live stream while we were making a rug, which is absolutely crazy. So the fabric is from Connecting Threads. The thread is 40 weight polyester. I like a high break thread. It used to be Friday after, and the store would open at 6 a.m. to like 10 or 11. It would be crazy to try and check that. Okay, so they've extended the Black Friday sales for crowd control and to get more sales, I assume. We used to go down to Palm Springs every November, and now I do Christmas markets, so that was the end of going to Palm Springs in November. And we would go out to Cabazon Mall and shop Black Friday sales if we were there. But one time we did it, and you know, they have all those coupons and stuff for the outlet malls, and I didn't find it was much better for the Black Friday than it was the couple days before, when we had gone like 2 days before Black Friday, and then we went back. I didn't find it was that good. I was like, what is the big deal about this? All right, almost done these strips, and then we're going to cut off our little triangles. How many of you are the first-time viewers here on the channel? Raise your hand if you are a first-time viewer on the channel. I'm going to sew this today, and I've got like 6 other rugs that I have already made the tubes for. So we'll try to get some of those done over the weekend. And I'm also short on Christmas tea towels. And if you haven't seen those, I have a couple tutorials here on my channel for those. They're super cute. Brenda Campbell, you're a first-time viewer here. Welcome, 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 welcome. This isn't for everyone, but there's 84 million estimated crafters in North America, which is pretty big. And so I'm building my little crafting empire, one stitch at a time, one view at a time. Hello, Stephanie 777. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the channel. Hi, Granny Joe. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. As soon as I'm done these 2 strips, I'm going to show you guys what's in the members only giveaway here, so that you can see whether or not you want to join the channel. And then we're going to cut the tube, or cut the strips, and then we're going to start sewing the tube. So I have a channel membership here. It's $2 a month to join. If you want to join, you can click the main channel icon, and it'll say subscribe, and then there's a join button right there. You can go back to the main channel and you can join from there, or you can hit the link in the video description. And for $2 a month, you get members only content, you get priority reply to comments, you get Stephanie, there is a jelly roll calculator that you can do that with. It's called Jelly Roll Calc, and it's on the App Store. I hope that helps, because I haven't made a 70-inch rug. But basically a 40 strip rug makes a 40-inch long rug if you start the center like I do, and I'll show you how to start the center here. And so then you should need 70 strips, logically, if you start the center like I do, because if 40 strips are 40 inches, 70 strips should be 70 inches. Okay, so for the channel membership, $2 a month to get in on all the fun, members only discounts on my digital products, members only access to some videos, a priority reply to comments, early access to my videos, and all kinds of freaking fun stuff is what we're going to do here, and we just keep building it. So the members only price pack is valued at $835 right now. It doesn't matter where in the world you live. If you're one of the first 150 paid members of the channel, we're going to do a draw, and if you win, we're going to send all this off to you free of charge, no matter where you live in the world. So first off, we have a set of cards, my Christmas cards. We've got Merry Christmas and Oh Holy Night. So these are my own personal designs. We've got a pillow sham for a 20 by 20 inch pillow, and you can watch lives for all these videos as well. We've got 2 Christmas tea towels, and they're 100% cotton tea towels. I like to make my tea towels 18 by 20 whenever possible. You'll receive a set of my 9 reindeer Christmas ornaments. You get all 9 reindeer, and one of our viewers picked out the color for that to give away. You'll get a set of 4 soup bowl cozies to sew. But don't worry, there is a tutorial here on my channel, and anybody can go ahead and watch the tutorial. You receive two reversible Robert Kaufman Christmas placemats. You'll receive 2 sets of fridge magnets, one in everyday black and white fabric and one in Robert Kaufman Christmas fabric. Then you will receive an actual jelly roll rug. We sewed this on alive, and that was a fun day. Then you will receive a FAF Quilters Kit gift box, which has 2 quilting rulers, rotary cutter, rotary blades, 2 packs of needles. Oh, but wait, there's more. On the bottom is the rotating cutting mat, and that's a gift box from FAF. Then you will also receive the AccuQuilt Studio die for the stocking, which is ginormous, so you'll need the AccuQuilt Studio cutting machine for that. But I have a link on the video channel, like on the main channel there, to go and buy your studio cutter. I have a lot of viewers that are wanting to start their own business, so we included that with it. And then you will also receive, there's so much here, we keep adding to it. You'll receive a copy of my book, which is From Zero to YouTuber. It's available on Amazon. It's by Jolene Airy. It will teach you how to run, grow, and scale your YouTube channel. And that's been actually doing really well at my Christmas markets. And then you'll also receive the Clover Fabric Tube Maker. So if you want to get in on the fun, you can join the channel, and off we go. I need a basket. Dang it. It's going to be one of those days. I need a basket. And my current basket is full, so I'm just going to get another one here out of my extra room. There we go. Empty basket. Here we go with an empty basket. So I'm just going to slip this down underneath on the floor, grab my pair of scissors, and we're going to cut off the selvage edge. That one was quite long. And then we're just going to snip all these triangles off. So lots of deals there to be had for watching and joining the channel. You have the fabric discount, which is open to everybody right now. Link is in the video description. And you have the members only giveaway if you want to join the channel. And for $2 a month, we think that's a pretty good deal. And as the channel grows, the prize packs, of course, are just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and more fun, because I own this place and I can do whatever the heck I want. It's a win-win. A couple bucks a month from a lot of people keeps lights on. Crafting is expensive. And then hopefully we can do a bunch of give backs to the audience. Well, not hopefully, we're going to give a bunch of give backs. Okay, so I'm not being too fussy about this. I'm just cutting the little triangles off. We've got to do that 40 times. And once you've cut the triangles off, you're going to see that the fabric just folds over, and then you get one long line of fabric. Make sense? What's everybody up to today? Like, are you in your craft room? Are you just hanging out watching television? What is the deal on the other end of the line? So if you're new here, I should tell you, well, I could tell you, because what's the point of sitting here and being quiet? I have a huge craft business. I take all my stuff to local Christmas markets. And the Christmas market I was at the last 2 weeks ran Thursday through Sunday. Taking a break and patching holes. Stephanie is taking a break and patching holes. I'm cutting triangles and telling you about my craft markets. So I went in to this year's craft season with how much? $57,928 in finished product, and I should have had more, which is crazy. But I haven't done any summer markets. I think I'm just going to step away from summer markets a little bit. I didn't do any this year, and frankly, how busy I was with the Christmas markets, I think it's just more sustainable to not do the summer markets, just go to the Christmas markets and concentrate on having enough product for there, because I got asked for all kinds of things that I didn't have, and I get asked for the same things year after year and always run out of time. And part of that was due to the fact that I was doing way too many summer markets, and then you just run, right? Because you're just constantly filling and sewing and filling and sewing. So my new plan is to just stick with the Christmas markets and make the products that people are asking for and make more of them. All right, so we're coming up, I don't know, 10 more of these maybe to go. We're just cutting the strips for the rugs, cutting the little triangles off. Those triangles are so small, I haven't figured out, well, I don't think there's anything really you could make with those, so I'm not being too fussy about how I cut them. I'm just getting the job done, because they are going to be sewn to the inside, and nobody is going to see if you cut that perfectly straight ever again. So do you want to make stuff, or do you want to make everything a work job, right? Like a make work project. You're just working for the sake of working, and then you're tired because you work too much. Is how I feel about that. So pretty good deal on this fabric. I don't know if they have the exact same color, but like I said, they do have a nice green color. And I will order, I guess in the next week, if I decide I want that color. I do have a lot of fabric, I just don't have it sewn up. So that's not helping me make money at the market, is it? Oh, except for that, I am selling some fabric at the market, so I guess it does help a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to cut the selvage edge off of this one, and then we're going to grab our Clover fabric tube maker. If you've never worked with a Clover tube maker before, I do have another video on my channel that is specifically for that Clover tube maker. I'm going to give you a rough idea here of what to do. And all right, so I've still got some batting under my table here that I'm using. Probably enough for 3 more rugs, and then I'll be on to the packages. If you're looking for the batting, excuse me, it's a Jelly Roll Pelon with scrim, and it's available on Amazon, and I will put up my Amazon store onto the video description here after the video is done, so you'll be able to click it in the video description. And good news, I just became a USA Amazon associate. I was a Canadian one. I didn't realize there was a difference. And then I had to reapply and get the American one up. So the links I share now should work for both. Okay, so we've got our tube, and we're just going to fold our fabric over the edge like that. And now we're going to fold the fabric in half to the middle. We've taken our tube maker apart, and there's 4 separate parts here. So fold the fabric into the middle. Now looks like this. And we're going to slide it through the first part of the tube maker, so the big end. So now it looks like this. Now we're going to grab the big end piece that fits inside, and we're going to push it up inside until it clicks. I say that, and then, what have I done? There we go, click. I'm like, it shouldn't be that hard. I had it off center. Okay, then we're going to fold the fabric in half one more time, and we're going to use the smaller end of the Clover tube maker, and we're just going to repeat the process. So slide your fabric through. Make sure everything is kind of lined up and centered. Grab the second little part here, and we're going to slide that up in the center of this as well. Perfect. Check and make sure. You can slide it back and forth to make sure that it's working. And then I'm just going to fold the end over, and I'm just going to fold each end in on a diagonal, in half, and then in half again, just to get this rug started. In half, in half, in half. So essentially I've made a little rectangle on the top of it there, and we're just going to use my Singer Heavy Duty to get this going. I like this machine for the power it has and how fast it can sew the strips. And then when I do my zigzag, I'm going to switch to my other machine, which is my Bath Quilt Ambition. It has a nice wide zigzag, and it has a wider zigzag than this, so it works better for getting that rug all together. Okay, so we've got to sew 40 strips of this. We better tell each other some stories, guys, because this is going to take a minute. Take a hot minute to get this done for sure. Everything's bouncing around, making extra noise we don't need. $40 strips. And I'm not going to make it with the heater going. It was freezing in my office when I first started this, so I turned on my little heater, and now you know how it goes when you're a little in your 50s. The heat goes. What was your best seller at the craft show? So I have a lot of product. I would have to say probably, for the amount of them, I think it would be soup bowl cozies right now, which is typical because I sell a lot of soup bowl cozies. And I actually have a couple of videos on my channel for how to make them and make money at them. So I use the AccuQuilt cutting system, which is the die cutting system. If you've never seen it, I haven't met you, so I don't know if you've seen that die cutting system. But you can cut out multiple soup bowl cozies at the same time. And I would definitely, they're like a hot seller, and I sell them for $15 Canadian each. So when you go to the craft market, make sure you've got your things priced properly. Use good fabric, use consistent batting, consistent systems, and you'll just speed up what you're doing. My favorite thing to sew, honestly, the prettiest thing and the favorite thing that I sew is the tea towels, because each one is just so different. I love making them. They come out so pretty. Like, I don't mind making the rugs. I don't mind making the soup bowl cozies. Honestly, all of it I don't mind making, but I do like the tea towels because I use so many different embellishments on them. They just come out so pretty. And I can show you guys here if you didn't get a good look. But here is one, for instance. So this is a cotton tea towel. It's got black rickrack trim. It's got red and black cotton on the bottom and a red check button. So they're fun. They're fun to put everything together and to pick out all the different embellishments. This fabric from Connecting Threads sews up like a dream, you guys, just so you know. It is spectacular to work with. I buy it all the time. I will not tell you, in fact, I'm the opposite. I will tell you if something is total bunk and not to buy it. But I also will tell you if I'm actually using it in my business. So I don't have time to waste. If I'm not going to sell this in my store, I am not going to buy it. And I'm not going to tell you to buy it either, because some stuff is just crap. Total waste of our time. And that's not what we're here for at all. So for instance, there's a sewing machine on Amazon, or there was. The brand starts with an F, so the letter Frank. Don't buy that one. It's not very good at all. I did not like it. I shouldn't say don't buy that one. I will not be purchasing that sewing machine ever again. There you go. That's my personal review. No stars and 2 thumbs down. At this point, I will also not purchase any batting other than the Pellon batting with scrim. And that is because I have tried a lot of different batting, and this batting works the best for me. I am sewing on the edge. That's a good question. I always get going and then I forget I have an audience here. But I am sewing, I'll just show you. And just bear in mind, this machine doesn't owe me anything, and it's the only thing I sew on here is a straight stitch because it's no good for anything else anymore. I've worn it out. I'm sewing right to the very edge. And that way when I do my zigzag, it catches the fold on the bottom side. I've seen people do it with a serpentine stitch, and I've also seen people do it where they put the stitch in the middle. But I want to catch that fold on the bottom side. I don't want to have to go back and once you flip the rug over, you can see a bunch of the folded fabric that didn't get caught. And I don't want to have to go back and redo any stitching. So like you always have to. There's always, you know, a spot or two that you've missed. But I would rather not do that. So I sew as close to the edge as possible. I'm using, right now, I'm using a 90-14 needle, but you could also use a 116 jeans needle to get this going. And I'm not, I got my batting wound up here with my fabric. Dang. I am not pulling too far down on this tube maker. I'm just doing like 8 to, oh gosh, hot on my floor here, 8 to 10 inches at a time, and that way the tube is staying snug, taut, I guess would be the word for it. And when I go to use the tube maker, I make sure that my needle is in the needle down position, and that holds the fabric in place as I reposition the tube maker. And I do have an up-close video for basically everything I do here. For the tube maker, for the jelly roll itself, for the rug itself. Everything is right here on the channel. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit. But feel free to ask me anything. I cannot make this stuff for everybody, nor do I want to. So I would rather grow my YouTube audience and share the links, which I earn small commissions off of. So thank you for shopping the links when you do that. That's amazing. And with the paid membership, hopefully we can get, the goal is to get 1,000 people onto the paid membership, and then we'll have lots of giveaways and just all kinds of fun here. So not a bad giveaway to get started with at 835 Canadian dollars. You need to be one of the first 150 paid members to get in on that. And the last time I looked, we had 31 paid members. So that's not nothing. You have to start somewhere. And that's the route I'm going to go here with my business. And I'm going to concentrate on my Christmas markets and my book and all kinds of fun stuff. Now, I did write the book last year, how to, from zero to YouTuber, which I mentioned is available on Amazon. I took it off to the craft market and had it sitting on my table, and a representative from a local college came by, and now we are basically talking about having me come in and speak to their marketing students based on writing my book, which is pretty exciting. And a little bit full circle because I went to that college and took some courses there when I was much younger. So that's kind of a full circle moment for me there. I've got my fabric twisted. Not sure how I did that, but it's easily fixable. 40 of these. And I think we're on number 4. So 10% of the way there. It'll be curious to see how long it actually takes to make the rug. I should time it one day when I'm at it again here. I did time it years ago, but some people just like the finished part of this process. They want to see what's being made, so it's easy to turn on your camera. And I'm no longer screen shy. I do get a little bit of anxiety about it, and I'm exhausted once I turn off the camera, but I figure, what the heck? There's people doing worse things on the internet and making money at it. And I'm sewing rugs, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to be okay. So if you're new here, how many we got watching now? Oh, 9 watching. Hi, guys. The fabric is from Connecting Threads, and I put a link in the video description to go to their site, and I put a discount code, which is my personal discount code they give me. I am an ambassador for them, and so they gave me a discount code to share with my audience, and you guys get 30% off, but you need to have the code to get it. And I've got my fabric twisted here again, so I'm just gonna wiggle my, the first part is doing fine. The second part of feeding into the tube maker has somehow become twisted. And it's really easy to fix. Just take the middle part off, wiggle your fabric around a little bit until you've got it centered again. Put the center part back in for that, clip it back into place, and off you go. Not a big deal. If you're in Canada, the Clover fabric tube makers are available on my website. If you're from the United States, I do not recommend ordering from my website because I'm currently not shipping there. So one thing. And the other thing is with the tariffs and just all the paperwork that has to go on because of the tariffs, I'm just not shipping to the States right at this moment. I'm concentrating on YouTube. I do have an Instagram. I do have a Facebook. I used to have a big Instagram and a big Facebook, and I was working with Tailwind, which is the scheduling app that integrates with Pinterest. I was their test company to run their new AI technology for writing ads. So you can see me on their Tailwind platform. You might, they advertised for me basically, and they had access to all of my computer stuff. And essentially, I was like a consultant, giving feedback to Tailwind to make changes for how their app integrated with Pinterest, basically to improve small business. So there was supposed to be 3 of us in this pilot program, 3 businesses in the pilot program that they put through, but the other 2 could not complete they couldn't do it. For whatever reason, they weren't committed enough. They didn't have the wherewithal, whatever it was. So I'm the only person that Tailwind put through that program, and I still kind of work with Tailwind. When I published my book, they were one of the first people that I told, and a bunch of their staff went and purchased my book. So if you don't know what Tailwind is, it's the Pinterest scheduling tool. Anyway, so I was working with Tailwind, and we were running all this new AI technology. and running ads. Basically, is you know, they're writing ads and then doing test audiences and making sure their algorithm could pick up, you know, who were the best people to send these ads to, and using my company to do that through. And then one night in the middle of the night, despite all of our efforts, we got hacked. And so we received absolutely no help from Facebook or Instagram. And I had to close my accounts, and it was total garbage. And since then, I'm like, I'm going to go work on a platform that pays me, that has some customer service, because you couldn't even get through to anybody. So I'm like, okay, this is just a colossal waste of energy. I just am not a huge fan of Facebook and Instagram right now. So I do have my businesses on there, but I don't do very much with it because you can't get any customer service. I do have a TikTok. I do have a big Pinterest. Last time I looked, I was getting 40,000 views a month off my Pinterest. So that's not nothing. If you like really expensive stuff, I do have an Etsy store where I sell my own textile designs on things like curtains and shower curtains and placemats. That's called Home Stitchery Decor. But there's no way to get them cheaper, but people order them all the time. Stephanie, if you're thinking of doing YouTube, what are you making? Just if you don't mind me asking. Don't worry, I'm not going to steal it. I got enough to do. If anything, I'm giving you all my stuff to steal, so it's like, but yeah, what are you thinking of doing? I have a fabulous book on Amazon called, I'm told it's fabulous, so I've got reviews saying it's fabulous, from Zero to YouTuber. A bunch of my regular viewers on the channel have bought it, and they're starting that, so that book's available on Amazon. But yeah, let me know what you're doing there, and I can maybe give you some direction. Homestead mom stuff. That's fun. That's a big market. Just saying. That's a huge audience just waiting to happen. Do I have that in my book? I think I might have that. Video ideas. Not that it matters. But my book will walk you through how to start, grow, and scale your YouTube. Doesn't matter your niche. It'll tell you the actual processes. So it's available on Amazon, and it's $20.95 American. And then it'll be like at the end of January. Could I do it before then? No, not really, because I'm leaving town. And by leaving town, I mean going to a sunny vacation destination. So by the end of January, I will have my coaching calls back up on my website. I don't have them up right now because I'm just too busy. And I do 1 hour sessions or 4-week sessions at 1 hour a time. You can pick your weeks. They don't have to run concurrently. And basically you tell me where you're at and what you want to do, and I help you get to where you're going, and it's super affordable. And I've been doing it for years. So I offer one-on-one coaching, but at certain times, just because I'm busy. And I think that, you know, January too, people need a minute. My sewing machine here. I'm going too fast for the sewing machine. I want to just caveat with this sewing machine, you guys. This thing should have been thrown out 3 years ago, but it's still sewing a straight stitch pretty good, so I'm going to keep it. And every once in a while, the thread gets wound up a little bit in it, and that's mostly because I'm just going so fast with very thick fabric. And I don't feel the need to like purchase a brand new sewing machine when this works like, oh, I don't know, 83% of the time for a straight stitch. And it's got the muscle to do it, so, but it is definitely worn out. That is why my thread will come out sometimes. But you know what? I'm a small crafter, so I need my money. the batting itches my nose. Itches my nose. Okay, off we go. Keep things pretty lighthearted here. So I'm open to questions. What we don't do here is talk about politics or complaining about things. So anything else that you guys want to know, crafting, otherwise. We're using the Clover fabric tube maker. The fabric is from Connecting Threads. I'm sewing straight stitch as close to the right hand side as possible so I can catch the zigzag on the bottom. The thread is a 40 weight polyester, and that is like a higher break thread than say a cotton. And I want to be able to wash these rugs and put them back on the floor repeatedly, so I use a high break thread for that. The machine is a Singer heavy duty 4452, I believe. And then when I do my zigzag, I'm going to switch over to my better machine, which is the Pfaff Quilt Ambition 635. It's got a nice wide zigzag on it. The batting I'm using is Pellon with Scrim. And I will put my Amazon link in the video description when this video is done with the store, so that you can go ahead and shop the Amazon storefront for all of the products, or shop at your local crafting store if you can support local. That's great. And if you do shop through a link, I do receive commissions. Yay! They're not huge, but if you grow your audience, I'm at, I don't, like 8,000 subscribers now, over 8,000 subscribers. And, you know, if I grew it to 100,000 subscribers, I think I'd be doing pretty good. So we're just going to keep working at it. Just going to work at it until it works. That's what we're going to do. No secrets. Happy to share my knowledge. And I really would like to encourage people, women in particular, to start their own businesses so that we're more financially secure, because we do nice things in the communities and support our communities. And I think if the world had a few more women supporting their own communities, it would be a much nicer world to live in. And I think that crafting is kind of, it's having a comeback moment for sure. Like a lot during COVID, but even now, when I go to the farmers markets, for instance, hi everyone from a Canadian living in Virginia. What the heck are you doing down there? Come home. No, I'm just kidding. And I can see your icon. If you want to tell us your name, that's fine. So we can call you by your name. Hi, I'm Jolene. So everybody here can call me by my name. And I can have a quick move here and see if we need to introduce, 9 of you guys watching still. That's great. So if you want the fabric, it's from Connecting Threads. And I've twisted this again. I am just not paying attention today. It's from Connecting Threads. I put the link for the fabric in the video description, and my coupon code is there as well. So you get 30% off with their Black Friday sales, which is actually a really good deal from Connecting Threads. All right, we're back in business. Just had to manually sort out my situation. Clicky that, clicky this. I married an American in 1973. Well, I was born in 74. So, I've been up here my entire life. Mostly in the Calgary area. Where were you from in Canada before you moved down to Virginia? And I have always wanted to visit Virginia. Always. I want to see the mountains. I think the topography there is spectacular, and I would just like to toddle around and check things out. Oh, remember, don't go too fast because the thread breaks. On my old clunker machine. Now, I started with a machine which was I believe it was a 1972 Singer, honestly. It was my mom's machine. She got it, I believe, as a wedding gift. And I sewed on that machine up until about 5 years ago. Born in Cornwall, Ontario. I know where Cornwall is. Where's everybody else from? Let's get a gang of girls going on here. Guys, too. You know, 19% of the viewers on my channel are guys. I'm like, that's fun. I can't believe so many men are watching sewing and enjoying it. It's crazy. I didn't think there was that many men that would like, you know, I do mostly sewing, right? But that would like a sewing channel. I teach the business stuff on here as well, but it is mostly sewing stuff here. I have a little coffee going on, decaf, but you know, coffee just the same. We're just telling ourselves it's caffeinated. Any questions here as to how we're doing this, or Salem, Oregon? I'm from Calgary, Alberta. So it's not that far actually away from Oregon. I've been to Oregon. So I'm about an hour and 10 minutes away from Banff. And everybody seems to know where Banff, Alberta is, where all the mountains are, in that mountain town. And I do like it there. I just find it's annoyingly, like, their main strip to go shopping on is kind of annoying because all the stores have the same products in it. And they're all imported. Womp womp. If you get off the big main strip, you can find some local art stores and whatnot, but for a mountain town, it's very commercialized with cheap souvenirs, and I find that a little disappointing. Could be a little more Canadian. And we have so many, I'm not judging, but I'm just telling you, we have so many Asian tourists that love Banff. Like, there's something about it. They must market it night and day to Japan and like other places. And we love them. They're fabulous people. But the souvenirs are targeted towards like that cheap grab and go, I need to put this in a suitcase market. So that's a little disappointing. You're from Mississippi. Where in Mississippi? Mississippi. Have any of you Americans been up to Canada? Other than, oh gosh, what was her name? Was it Brenda? Oh no, it was the lady with the icon that we couldn't see her name. That was from Cornwall. Who else has been up here to Canada? I've been all over the United States. I've been to Texas, New Mexico, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, California, Arizona, Wyoming, Oregon, Washington. Gosh, where else? I've been a lot of places down there. I once went to a Waffle House in New Mexico. What town would that have been in New Mexico now? It's a big city. Gosh, the name is escaping me. Somebody named some cities in New Mexico. But anyway, I went to this Waffle House and we were having breakfast, and the waitress was like, oh my gosh, you guys have accents. Where are you from? Hello, how are you? It's Kat, right? Gosh, it's been a while. Kat is one of my regulars, guys. Kat, we're sewing Las Cruz. No, it's not Las Cruz. Oh gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Of course it is, right? Kat, we're just trying to figure out cities in New Mexico. Anyway, I went to New Mexico. I was sitting in a Waffle House. This lady was asking us about our accents. And then she proceeded to tell us that she had never so much as taken a bus to the other side of town. I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, you've never gone to a different mall? And she was like 35 years old or something. And I'm like, oh my good grief. What are you doing? Like, and she seemed happy as can be, a little jealous maybe that we're, you know, from Canada, and she didn't really understand where Canada was. But I was like, my goodness, girl, you got to get out. North Mississippi. Cool. Las Cruz. No, it starts with an S. I can't remember which one it was. Okay, Kat, what's going on with you? Santa Fe. Thank you. That's it. Santa Fe, New Mexico. That's it. That's where I was. I was in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I was all over New Mexico, to be clear. But yeah, I was in Santa Fe, New Mexico at the Waffle House, which was pretty close to the hotel that we were staying at. I grew up in Washington State and I've been to Victoria, Canada. Gosh, you guys got to get up here. Your dollar is worth a lot more than ours, and we're super friendly. So you can travel super cheap up here. Stuck in traffic, heading to Vegas for the weekend. Well, don't we feel bad for you? This is another one of my regulars, you guys. If you can see the icons next to their name, those are some of the channel members that we have here on the channel. It's $2 a month, and part of your channel membership is I will harass you for free with your paid membership. Good morning, all. I know it's early too, but you know what? I got so much sewing to do. It was actually crazy. Just working my day job, haven't created any goodies all week, going to turn the machine on this weekend, making a few rugs. Awesome sauce. Okay, for my regulars, you guys, there in the video description is the Connecting Threads link, you know, to go into Connecting Threads. But they also gave me a 30% coupon code to use. So instead of my regular 15% off fabric, you get 30% off fabric. And that's their Black Friday deal. So if you're looking for fabric, it's a good deal. How many rugs are you making there, Kat? I sold... Okay, I'm not going to tell you. I'll make you guys guess for interactive purposes. I was at, if you know because you're watching from the beginning, don't say anything. I was at the Christmas market the last 2 weekends. I'm not at one this weekend. But the last 2 weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then I was there for 2 weekends. Guess how many rugs I sold? You only have enough batting for 2 rugs. Okay. Also, to my regulars, yay. We did get the Amazon working for the United States. That's working now. And so I'll put my, I'm working on a storefront for jelly roll rugs, a storefront for everything. I'll put that in the video description as well. And I'll put the batting in there. So as soon as I'm done this video, I'll try to get the jelly roll link in there right away for you girls. So you can come back to this video and get that link. So what was happening was, I'm from Canada. I signed up to be an Amazon associate for Canada. And then somebody on here told me, you know, the links aren't working because they're in America. So, in America. And then I had to figure out how to become an Amazon associate for the United States, which I did. And then I had to have 3 qualifying purchases in order for them to allow me to be an influencer. because you can share links at some level, but to be like an influencer where you have your actual storefront, that's a whole other level. So I reached the influencer status very quickly. Thank you very much. There were, I can't remember how many, but there were a lot of links, clicks to the links on that very, like the video I did last week saying, you know, basically I need you guys to shop on my Amazon store. So there were links, clicks from that. And then I did a couple of viral, I had a couple of short videos go viral with the Jelly Roll rugs where I put the link in for the fabric for that as well. Oh, and don't buy fabric off Amazon either without my link. I'll put that in later because that blue fabric is on sale as well for Black Friday. So I'll make sure I do that right after I'm done this video. I'll put that link in there for you guys. And then basically anytime you want to shop from Amazon, if you just go in through a link that I shared, then I get a small commission. So that's awesome. Get your products there. And I'll make sure to put the correct batting in there for you so that you use the correct batting. Super easy. Okay, so how many do we have here? 9. Oh, we still got 9 people. 66 minutes we've been going at this. Not too bad with the chatter and everything. So we're sewing Jelly Roll Tube Rug. If you're new here and need me to stop and tell you exactly what we're doing, please just raise your hand or whatever. Leave a comment here if you need me to back up and slow down. But the fabric today is from Connecting Threads. The link is in the video description. And there is a huge discount code there for you guys as well. And this is going to be a 40 strip rug. So I'm pretty excited. I want to get as many rugs possible. How many do you guys think I sold over those 2 weekends? If you still have service on your way to Las Vegas, where you didn't invite me, by the way. What are you going to do in Vegas, Chelsea? Not that I could come right now because I'm halfway in between Christmas markets. And I have sworn to my husband that never again. I just was filled with like so much freaking anxiety on the night we had to pack up. It was absolutely crazy. I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to do all this? I went into markets with $57,000 in stock. Over $57,000 in stock. I have not been able to get enough stock made for a market, so I've been posting listing on Marketplace. I will get some sales. You're going to. That's a fantastic idea, and I told you, use Facebook Marketplace if you're just getting going. Absolutely. You can get known on there as well, and you can join all the local community groups and read the rules for business posting. So say you've got a neighborhood called, like for instance, Sundance. We have a neighborhood next to us called Sundance. Join the Sundance community group on Facebook. Look to see when the business posts are allowed and post your rugs on there. Browns versus Raiders game. Well, aren't you special? Are you taking the family with you or the new in-laws? Now I have to bug her. Chelsea went out a while ago and had dinner with her, you know, freshly met in-laws to be, I assume. So she was a little nervous about that, but we talked her through it and cheered her on, and she'll be okay. We've all had to do it. Kind of sucks. But yeah, Kat, you can do it. I swear you're gonna be okay. How are your rugs turning out? Have you posted them in the community tab? Because we would all love to cheer you on, Kat, if you've got your pictures of your rugs. So some of these girls that are on here have been here for, you know, since we started the membership here a couple of months ago, and we've been getting to know each other pretty well. And of course, we want to cheer anybody on that wants to start their own business and give them as many tips for success as possible. So if you're here for that, that's kind of what's happening. Otherwise, this is basically a sew and tell. You girls aren't guessing how many rugs I sold. which is kind of funny. I think it was 84 in 2 weekends, which is crazy. Bananas. Well, in 8 days, actually, to be fair. Because the markets run Thursday through Sunday. And so, therefore, I am very short on rugs. And all my dark colors went. Hence, I'm making a dark color right now. It was absolute freaking madness at the Christmas market. And like I said, I've said to my husband, there's like no way I'm doing that again next year. I'm going to be so much more prepared with stock than I am this year. Because I don't even want to be sewing today. I want to be sitting upstairs on my couch, like playing freaking games on my phone or something and just having a minute to chill. Because I'm like, I'm okay now, but on Monday I was at 0. Yeah, 84 rugs. Absolutely bananas. And on Monday I said to my husband, I'm going to spend the entire day on the couch. Well, that lasted till about, well, it didn't even happen actually until 4 p.m. because I got out of bed at 8, looked around my house at the absolute disaster it was, started cleaning up all my projects. Then I went, I had to go to the fabric store to buy fabric for this project that I'll show you later, or maybe even in another live this weekend. I bought a whole new line of Christmas fabric. Because that fabric store had a huge coupon, which they only put out a couple of times a year, and their Christmas fabric was on sale on top of the coupon. So I went and restocked on, like it's higher end fabric. It was being charged out at $28 a meter. That's too much for me to pay. So when it went on sale for 55% off, then that's more affordable, and that still is like the top line I'll pay for retail fabric. And the rest of my fabric I order wholesale because I have wholesale suppliers. But you also want to, you know, fill in different colors, right? So get fabric wherever you want to. But I went to the fabric store and I was at like absolute 0 for like capacity. Got my fabric, went to get it cut, and I'm like, well, crap. Now I've got to talk to somebody at the fabric store, which I really didn't want to do because I was so peopled out. And I ended up getting this brand new employee that didn't have an actual clue about much in life, I don't think. And, you know, I asked, I don't even know if it was a guy or a girl or a they, them, or whatever people identify as. So this person, I'll just call them this person. I asked them to roll the fabric back up onto the cardboard bolt, and they rolled it in such a way that you might as well have just thrown it in the garbage because it was, you know, 2 feet off the bolt at the end. Like, half. I'm like, how am I supposed to sew? Like, this is ridiculous. We're gonna do this again. And I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11 essentially bolts of fabric. And I was like, okay, so now I had to wind up my own fabric. And let's just say they were very odd. They were a very odd person. And I'm like, why on earth is this going on today? I just don't have the actual headspace to be dealing with this stuff. So I came home, rolled my fabric back up on the bolts because it was ridiculous. And then I finally got to the couch at 4 o'clock. And all week long, I have been struggling to rest and get my work done because I still have a regular job. And then yesterday, I cleaned my house for 12 hours because it was an absolute disaster. On Monday, I just like put away my market stuff. But yesterday, I actually had to clean my house, which had been neglected for the better part of 5 weeks as I was getting ready for the Christmas market. So like I'd done, you know, the odd, you know, clean a bathroom, vacuum the floors, but not a deep scrub by any stretch of the imagination. So yesterday was the deep scrub, and it, you know, all the linens, everything, and that felt pretty good. All right, let's get back onto this. Kat, how many rugs have you got made? I'm curious. Don't compare your beginning to my, like, end here, right? Because I know you're just getting started out. So this isn't like a, you know, a pick on you kind of thing. You've made 3. That's fantastic. And when you first started watching the channel, how many had you made? Just out of curiosity. I had 0. So, you know, 3 is a good start. 3 is like, I'm committed. 1, I'd be like, hey girl, you can do it. 3, 3 is amazing. Because you haven't been at it that long. And you had a limited budget to get going, correct? And I did too, right? Like I would go to the store and get like a meter of this, 2 meters of that. Okay, well, you know, I only have $45 today, so now I got to go home. 1 rug at a time. I know. People love this homemade stuff, you guys. When they're at the markets, they are just digging on the homemade stuff. They are so sick of everything getting imported and made cheaply. So yes, you do. You have a limited budget. That's right. Don't feel bad about that. You can only do so much. But get started, and then I don't know how old you guys are. Like I'm 50, right? So a few years back, maybe like 20 years ago it was, they used to have this game on Facebook called Farmville. And I think they might even still have it. But basically it teaches you, you know, you need to produce this much stuff. So you need to sow the seeds in order to get the wheat. And when you get the wheat, you need to sell the wheat. But in order to sell the wheat, you need to buy the bag to sell the wheat in. Because you can't just, you know, randomly shovel wheat into, you know, somebody's car or whatever it was. And then, you know, the store needs eggs. Well, in order to fill your store with eggs, you need to buy yourself a chicken. Well, how are you going to buy the chicken? Well, you sold some wheat. So now you have some money to not only plant more wheat, but to buy more chickens or to buy a chicken. And then also, so it's the same premise. Just start slowly. If you can live without the money, like don't pay yourself. I didn't pay myself anything for a long time. Pay yourself as little as possible and just put that money back into your business as much as possible until you succeed. So in a year from now, if you've, you know, sold a few items and you bought more fabric and you sold more items and you bought more fabric, you can actually scale this into something. She's also practicing and making embroidered earrings. It's on my schedule for next week. My plan is rugs, table runners, towels, hot pads, and hopefully earrings if they come out good. So there you go. Then you need to pick one project that takes the most time and makes the least amount of money and scratch it off your list, even if you love doing it. And that is how you will become successful, to just reiterate. Now, the towels, are you going to be making the towels like I'm showing you here to make as well, just out of curiosity? The person who bought my bag is offering to donate fabric to help. Yes. See? Find a friend. You can find fabric on Facebook Marketplace a lot too. Or on Facebook, there's probably like a local sewing group. And you know, join the group and then check it, keep an eye out and see if people are giving a fabric away. Or estate sales. Yes, similar to the towel they're making, so they coordinate. Girl, it's like you've come to the home stitchery decor school. Proud of you, and not in a, you know, when women are like, they pat you on the back, but only as a slap. You know what I mean? No, proud of you. I have so many girlfriends now that are like, they'll send me a message like, you can do it. We're proud of you. Like, that's the kind of people you need, like, in your corner, getting you going, revving you up, right? So if I ever tell you that I'm proud of you, it's like a genuine compliment. So that's amazing. I have mentors. I learn from them all the time. So just find somebody that you like and that you connect with. And, you know, I'm giving all my business stuff away for free, basically. You guys can learn from me and take this stuff to the market, and off you go. Because I'm going to eventually retire off of this, and I don't know, it's kind of a way to like leave a legacy as well, right? Teach other people what you're doing. This batting in my nose. Batting in my nose, and it gotta go. All right. I'm finding that I'm liking doing the lives too, because then I force myself to sit and sew. Because I'm not going to run out of the room to go, you know, do laundry or something on a live. Although with that 12 hours of cleaning yesterday, I don't have a single thing of laundry to do. I did well several years ago with towels and wood sign, but used vinyls for the sayings and decorations. Did well, and the sign seems to have fallen out of favor. Yeah, I can see that. So just come back with something new. And I added new products to my booth this year. You would not believe how well those magnets sold. Like, one lady bought 7 packs of magnets. And I was using like the scrappiest scrap fabric, 2 1/8 inch fabric, you guys. If you're new here to the channel, I have a couple of the magnet making videos that we did live as well. And you can go back and watch and see how I did it. But basically I grabbed fabric that coordinated with my rugs and tea towels and everything. And of course there's always a little bit of scrap left. I didn't throw my scraps out. And I made fridge magnets with 2 1/8 inch square pieces of scrap fabric that would, honestly, it would have gone into the garbage. So, yeah, it was a really good scrap busting project, coordinated with my other projects. But definitely, if you're going to have a craft business, like, have your main staple products, but always try to, you know, come up with something new that flows and can be an add-on item. So how I price my rugs is by the strip. And you can see how much my rugs are on my website. They range from $70 to $145, and I'm probably going to have to up that next year because the cost of fabric is crazy. So this big 40 strip rug will be $145. And I know what you're thinking. I am sewing and chatting, so it's going pretty slow here today, but typically I will have other machines running while I'm doing this, like my washer dryer for my life, dishwasher, of course. But I'll also, in the sewing room here, I'll have my embroidery machine going, making my reindeer at the same time. And I will have my Cricut machine going, cutting either my mandalas or my Christmas cards. And so I'm multitasking on not only our house stuff, but my other products that sell at the same time. And then I think this next year I'm going to have to figure out another project as well. Oh my gosh, so funny. I was just going to say, I think I'm going to get a little laser cutter. I went to Pinner's Craft thing last weekend, and the wood burning laser cutters are all the rage right now. Yeah. I was just going to say, I think I'm going to get a wood, like a laser cutter. And then, of course, I have designs already, like my reindeer, like my snowflake designs, which you guys haven't seen yet. Also my mandalas, and then try to make them into wood art or posters or trivets. Where was the Pinner's Craft thing? Like just online, or did you go to it in person? I was busy, so I know they have it, but I wasn't sure if it's online or in person. And the Pinner's Craft thing is for Pinterest, just so you guys know. Have you watched my videos on Tailwind on here? Chelsea or Kat? It is the easiest way to get your content onto Pinterest. I also did wood slice ornaments from Fallen, Missouri, Eastern Red Cedar. They had wood burn designs, painted embellishments. I may make some up again, not sure. Very time consuming. Yeah, your time is valuable. So if you've got if you've got a project that you're making with your hands, make sure to try to scale to a point that you have a project in the background that you're not making with your hands, like a Cricut machine or a laser or whatever. And then that way you can turn those machines on and then come back to some of your fussy work, and you're still going to start making some money doing it that way. Not doing too bad. I think we have about 8 more strips to go, which is pretty good. We've got 10 people watching, which is funny because sometimes I've done these, and like I say, they've gotten like 20,000 views on them, and now today we've got 10. So the algorithm didn't like my title or something, I don't know. But if you're watching, hi, I'm Jolene from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. If you're just joining us now, we're making a jelly roll rug. The fabric is in the video description. There's a link to Connecting Threads. And there is a discount code for 30% off, which is my discount code that they've given me to share with you guys, which is pretty exciting. Get your fabric there today. I need to learn to speed it up and not spend so much time on one thing. You'll get there. I struggle with it as well. I struggle with it too. Like I come out of here some nights and I'm like, oh my gosh, I basically just wasted an hour. I could have been that much quicker doing this thing. And I have to tell myself sometimes, am I working or am I playing? Pick one and do it. If I'm not working, get the heck out of the room and go do something else with my life, because but that's taken a lot of discipline and just like self-awareness, and constantly listening to business coaches and productivity coaches and stuff about how to get myself sped up. So and I've done it just so new viewers are aware, where I had a lot of staff. So I had staff last year that did things. That's why you'll see like a whole bunch of different sewing machines around here. But what was happening was the staff were getting on my nerves because they were doing things like lying. So that's not cool. And yes, they were making stuff. And then I was taking it to the summer markets to sell. And then I'd have to buy more product. And then I'd have to take it over to the sewing people's house. And then I'd have to pick it up. And then I'd have to go back to the market and sell it so that I could afford to pay them. And it just got to be like, this is a little bit too much. And I was not, I wasn't enjoying the runaround. And then my husband was super sick with colon cancer. So that was one thing. And then I had a detached retina. So at Christmas time this last year, I was like, you know what? I'm going to slow down. I'm not going to do summer markets. I'm going to focus on other things like writing my book, and I'm going to come back to Christmas markets. But this year I was a little short on stock compared to where I wanted to be at, just because we had so many health issues, the two of us this year, that I was a little down on stock. And I'm okay. It'll be okay. We're going to do what we can do and just grow in different directions. And then I may hire more staff in the coming years, but right now I just need to have it a little bit slower so that it's a little bit just less like a job and more like something I really enjoy doing. Because there's different ways to earn money off of doing this, and you don't have to, you can slow down. You don't have to be everything to everybody. Okay, I've twisted my fabric again because I'm not paying attention in my tube. Take the middle part of the little tube apart. Get everything twisted back around the way it needs to go. All right. Itch your nose because there's batting fluff everywhere. Get the threads in. Get the threads in. I don't know. I don't know. I try not to look at one item as just what the profit margin is on one item. I try to look at everything as a whole. You can do it whichever way you want to do it, but and I try not to look at like just the profit margins of one singular market or one singular day at the market, but rather as a whole for my Christmas season. And I learned that from a friend of mine who also did a lot of markets. If it's not one thing, it's another here today. She did a lot of markets, and she's like, but the thing is you can't just look at the markets as, you know, what I made off of selling this one product. You need to look at it as what I got out of that by selling that one product. So did I get a repeat customer? What's the, average order value? What's the LVC? So the lifetime value of a customer. Do they keep coming back? Do they bring a friend with them the next year and the next year and the next year and the next year? And that is honestly what my biggest problem was this year, because I've sold so many rugs to so many people. When I went to the market this year, of course, I got all the new sales from all the new people, which was what I kind of based my how many rugs I had. And then I should have taken into account the people that come back, right? So because I've gone to the same market for years, I'm getting so many repeat customers, and they bring me a friend. And then I get so many new customers, and then the next year they are repeat customers and they bring me a friend. And so that just compounds. It's like interest in, I don't leave any money in the bank, but because I have stocks, I just refuse to leave money in the bank losing money. I'd rather lose it in the stock market or take a chance on making money. But you have to consider, you know, once you get well known at some of these larger markets, people are going to come back to you and come back to you and come back to you. So take that into account when you're building your business too. The first year might not be fantastic. In fact, the second year wasn't all that great for me either. But this year, spectacular. Last year was even better than this year. I broke every single record every single day last year. And this year, it's down from that a bit. The economy, tariffs are playing a role in that. People are just a little bit nervous about the pricing of houses in our city right now. We're having a housing shortage. So there's just a little less money to go around for some of the non-essential things. But then on the other hand, people that really have money, like the people that are buying my rugs at $145 a pop, they really have money, and they have no problem buying 3 or 4 rugs at a time. So there you go. There's my rug lecture for today. Does that help at all? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like no, I don't actually. I know what I'm doing at this point. I have no, it's not that I know everything or think that I know everything. I'm sure I still have tons to learn. But when I talk about something that I've learned it, and I can speak with confidence. Do we have any new viewers where you need to be told what we're doing here? Don't be shy. We're here to help. We're making a jelly roll rug. The fabric is from Connecting Threads. The fabric is in the video description, and I also have a big discount code there for fabric today for Black Friday. So I don't know, for the next 10 days or something, you can use that code. It's for 30% off, which is a pretty good deal when it comes to quilting fabric. And I'm actually using fabric from Connecting Threads here today. This is called Jelly Roll fabric or fabric strip fabric. It's 2.5 inches wide, and there's 40 coordinated strips here. So we're sewing the 40 strips, and then we're going to do the zigzag. And we've got like 4 strips left here to sew. And then we're going to move on to the zigzag of the rug itself. We're using the Clover Fabric Tube Maker. If you're from Canada, you can go ahead and order one off my site. Otherwise, I'll be sharing my Amazon link in the video description after this as well for my Amazon storefronts. And you can go ahead and purchase all the supplies on there as well. And it'll ship right to your house. I use Pellon batting with scrim. And I'm sewing a straight stitch as close to the right hand side as I can, so that we'll catch the fold with the zigzag when we switch to the other machine here. We do our zigzag and put the rug together. I always get excited when I'm just about at the end of sewing the tube. I could be done sewing tubes. I mean, they're not hard. It's just, you know, a little repetitive. Repeat the process to success. Zoom. I don't know why I keep looking for how much is left, because I'm getting excited. Like, settle down. You would have been done by now if you'd stopped looking. All right, no more looking until we're done. Slowing down my process here. So the rugs are washable in the washing machine on the gentle cycle, and I dry mine in the dryer just until they're just dry, not hot. Don't leave them in there too long. And then when you pull them out, they might have a couple little waves in them, but if you just lay them down on the floor, they're going to be fine. They will settle back down. My rugs are sewn straight and flat, so they stay that way. They will just remember how to do that. I highly recommend not winding all this fabric up into a ball. You will just train your fabric to be twisted. I have a big long video on my best jelly roll rug tips here on the video, on the channel. And of course I have the short form video tutorial of sewing the jelly roll rug. I think it's about a 20-minute video. It's the main video on my channel, so you can go ahead and watch that if you want the sped up version of what we're doing. But today is basically just a coffee chat. I have to do the work anyway, so why not turn my camera on, do a live, and make some friends on the internet. Heck yeah. Oh, I just looked. Dang it. Habit. What's the penalty for looking? I said, don't look, and then I went ahead and looked. Because it slows you down. So that's the other thing. If you can just learn to focus, you'll get ahead much more quickly. So put your phone in a different room, turn your computer off, and just do the project that you're working on. And you will find you will have much more success with your crafting business. I think this is the last 2 strips here in this dark green color. We're going to taper the end of this, and I don't put a tag or anything on my rugs at the end of them. I know I've seen people do it where they're like, they put their business name on the rug, or handmade by, I don't know, Trina or Kathy or whatever it is. I don't find that is necessary. I don't know. It's kind of like branding. I guess people are like, oh, it's all about the brand, and you know, people will remember you. But if I had this nice rug in my kitchen, I wouldn't want like a big chunky handmade by Kathy cotton thing sewn to the end of it. I'd be like, well, there's my pretty rug with this big chunky crap label on it. Thanks for that. And then, of course, you're not going to know how to take it off without wrecking your rug. So, like, I'm sewing a high-end item. I don't need to have, you know, like a big label on it. That's about me. I feel that that's just going to be about my ego, and I am not that egotistical, so I don't really need to do that. Okay, I just have a little bit of a white edge showing there of a selvage on that strip, so I just sewed that tube just a tiny bit snugger to cover up the white selvage of where we did the miter cut there, which is fine. It will look fine. This is the last strip. I've got about 20 inches left to sew. Fantastic. All right, I'm just going to cut the batting a little bit, maybe a 1/4 inch back from the end of the fabric. I'm going to snip off. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that came out of nowhere. I'm going to snip off and just make a little point here with the batting. And then I'm going to pull off the tube maker. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it basically just looks like this. You should be able to see that on the edge there. And we'll just pull off the tube maker and finish up the edge here ourselves. I just cut the batting. I didn't cut the fabric. And then I'm just going to slowly taper in this end a little bit. Make everything snugger and snugger. And then when I've got just a few little inches here left at the edge, I'm going to flip that end up in and fold my fabric into itself, until we've got a tiny little piece of fabric at the end to give it a nice tight little taper. You can watch me do this super close up on that other video. And I do use this thing a lot when I get to the very end. It's that purple thing, and it tucks in underneath the presser foot so you don't sew your fingers off. Very helpful. We need all of our fingers, so don't sew your fingers off. Back and forth, stitch a little bit, make sure everything's in tight, tight, tight. Now I get the threads off, and that's how to do a taper. Pretty quick and easy. All right, I'm gonna just pull off a couple of threads on here. Stab myself with the scissors first. I kept all my fingers, but I stabbed myself. Let's see if we can see any threads. Like where we were changing threads out, they'll be on here. All right. What fabric line are you using today? Oh, this is from Connecting Threads. It's actually from Connecting Threads. I can't remember which one this was called. I don't have the sticker for it, and it's the last roll, but it's from Connecting Threads, and I think they might have been sold out of this exact green one, but they have a new green one on there, and it's on sale because I went and looked, and I'm debating whether I'm going to buy it or not. I bought some other fabric other places in the last week, but the Connecting Threads link is what I'm promoting in this video because I have a discount code for 30% off for you guys. And I'd like to tag them in the video, so I don't want to mention any other sewing companies while I'm doing this one. And oh, I have a little piece here that's open. Can you see where I've sewn off the edge? So we'll just fix that up here. Not a big deal. Little opening that's a little too big to just put a zigzag on, and that'll happen. Get chatting, do other stuff. Just get it as pretty as possible, and all your mistakes will be hidden in the process here. Very good. Okay, pretty. Love it. All right, we're going to pull the fabric back, find the end of it, put it in our basket, and now we're going to switch out our sewing machines because I do like this other sewing machine for the zigzag. Clip off these little ends here a little bit, make it super pretty. Make sure nothing's coming out. Very good. Easy peasy to change a machine around here. I have so many of them. I might just chuck this one onto the floor. My foot pedals underneath my machine are another story. So we need this one over here. Got to pick the fluff up off the floor because the dog will eat it. And she's sleeping in her little bed here today. Just got a little view of my backside there. Sorry about that. Not good. And is this the right foot pedal? I don't think so. I think it's this other one. This one. And this one. And this one. Not that one. Oh, goodness. Gotta find the right cord. Here we go. Does it work? Nope, doesn't work because it's not plugged in. Now it works. Yay! Winning. Winning, winning, winning. All right. Find our end. Get some. We've got a bobbin here. We're going to use the same thread, just an off-white, cream, basically. This machine is super easy to work with. It is my newest machine. I love it so much. It's the Pfaff Quilt Ambition 635. Going. Okay. Get the bobbin in. I've got a preset zigzag on here, which is very nice. You can like memory your favorite stitches on this machine, and then you just have to hit the little heart button and you'll be able to go back to your setting. So that's super easy. Oh, come on. What am I doing here? There we go. Trim a little of this off. So my stitch is going to be at 7 and 6, and it's just a zigzag stitch. Pretty easy. Okay, so how I start my rugs is I get the first color and I go to the I need a little drink here. I go to where it starts the next seam, so, or the next strip. It's either the first color, like if I've got a different color, or where the seam has joined. And I'm going to fold this first strip into thirds with the folded side going to the left, always. And that is how I start my rugs over and over again, so I don't even have to measure anything. I just fold the first strip into thirds. Almost got it. Get to go back and forth a couple of times on that little part. Not a big deal. Got it now. Okay, then I've got the folded seam both to the left, and I'm going to zigzag, and I'm going to go from about 1.5 inches down. I'm going to go backwards first and then come forwards. So make sure you've got your needle in the needle down position and your back stitch turned on, and off we go to the races here. Just go slow on the first part of the rug. You'll thank me for that later on. And now we can go forward. Make sure this is all loosey-goosey going in. You don't want any tension on this side. And other than the corners, you want the fabric to go in at the exact same speed. On the first few corners, we're going to have to make some puckers on the inside of the tube in order to get the outside of the tube to lay flat. But it's not that hard to do. And I have a close-up of it on my video tutorial. So just right here, I don't know if you can see my fingers, but you're just going to push the inside of this just a little bit. Just fold it, fold it, fold it, so it goes around the corner. And the outside will lay flat. So the outside is to the right, and the inside has some little folds. Questions? This is where we have questions usually. And like I say, just go super slow. Do you change your needle after each rug? I do not. I change my needle usually about every 3 rugs, just for safety's sake. And some fabric just sews better if you've got a new needle in it. But that's a great question. You want the widest zigzag so you're able to catch the fold on the bottom side as well, because you're only able to watch the top. You can't see what's going on the bottom. So use the widest zigzag machine that you can get. And again, super slow around the corners. As the rug gets bigger, you won't have to slow down because it will be flat. But these first few corners are super important. And I don't find that I have to pin or anything like that. I can just do it with the pushing of the fabric to ease it around the corners. I know there's other people that say you have to pin it, or you have to fold it this way, or you have to do, no, you have to do the thing that works for you. And right now for me, it's giving a little give on the inside of the fabric where that fold is, just squishing it around ever so gently, super slow, and that outside of the fabric will lay down flat. And I've made thousands of rugs, so I know what I'm talking about. And we can just sew and chat and sew and chat, and then you're going to see the prettiest little rug here. This color is spectacular. I've done it, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe 12 times already. But I think this is the last of this fabric that I have. So make sure everything coming in is loose. You don't want any tension. Have a little looky-loo and make sure you've got all your threads trimmed off. If you see anything, just make sure you've trimmed that off before you bring it in. You'll thank me for that because it's hard to get out later. And I'm sewing a wide zigzag. And honestly, simple sewing with good quality materials, it sells all the time. I sell this all the time. So as you can see, that last corner went quicker, and each corner is just going to get subsequently more fast, or exponentially more fast, I guess would be proper English, as we go. And if you sew this flat, it will stay flat. I don't even have to iron this. We're coming up to the first color change. I feel like I'm a tour guide. We're coming up to, you know, Sunset and Plaza. On your left, you will notice the quilting store. Now, I highly recommend making sure that you're watching what you're doing on this part of the rug. I would not recommend watching TV for the first little while you're starting to make these rugs because something will wave, or you'll get something fed in wrong, or you'll sew your finger off. So safety first, watch what you're doing. I'll glance up here to see if there's a comment. Because I can watch the comments come through on my big screen television up here. But other than that, I'll be watching what I'm doing because I want this rug to be as perfect as possible. I don't want a lot of mistakes that I have to fix if I flip it over. I want the, here I just went off. I want the underside sewn properly. I say that, watch what you're doing, and then I just go off the edge. Of course I do. When I restart my thread, I always use just a straight stitch, and I'll go back and forth a few times with the straight stitch, and then that way you don't get that buildup of thread with the zigzag, and it doesn't look all chunky and so go back and forth with the straight stitch, and then turn your stitch back to your zigzag and resume sewing. thought I saw a comment, but nobody's talking to me today. You're all in your own little heads, which is fine. Sometimes you want to watch these videos just because you're chilling out in your own sewing room. I get it. I like to chill out in my sewing room too. It's my favorite room in the whole house. I spend a lot of time here. Everything in here is me. Me. Selfishly. Because I'm that, I don't know, in need of attention. Something, I don't know. But I'm not really. It's just I love my stuff. And it's fun. And I get to create things. And it's inspiring. And I get to work with pretty fabric. And it makes me happy. And it comes with a Cocker Spaniel who's like in her bed underneath here. And snoring away. I don't know if you can hear her on my mic, but she is snoring away. And it comes with an endless supply of coffee and Bailey's usually. And I get to meet friends on the internet. So it's like my dream life. I was always very crafty as a kid. Here's the word I was thinking of. Keeping each other company while we're each working away. Camaraderie. That's the word. Camaraderie. How do we say that? That's right. Camaraderie. Man, do I need an app. It is. It's fun. I think people just like to have some connection and, you know, feel like they've got somebody to talk to who's like interested in something similar to what they're doing. You know when you say camaraderie and then you read it, it's just spelled, it sounds way more complicated than it actually is. Oh, funny. So as you can see on these corners, I'm able to go so much faster. And just a tiny little bit of give as I go around. And this is just experience. This is just like how you learn to drive a car. You couldn't go super fast around those first few corners. So you just need the experience to be able to do that without rolling your rug up one way or another. I have thought about making fabric bowls, and I'm like, I wonder if that would bugger me up for, you know, I've learned to, you know, make sure my rug is flat. Now, am I going to screw up my, geez, I've gone off the edge here. Am I going to screw myself up by trying another project where you actually have to curl the project up and then have to retrain my brain for how to do that? I don't know if I want to mess with it, but I had so many projects at the Christmas markets that were requested and have been requested for years, and I think I'm just going to actually sit my butt down this year and work on my most requested items and see if I can get some of those added into the repertoire for next year. Okay, back to a straight stitch. There's my big sigh of like, I actually am tired. But I also need to make a rug today. So, suck it up, princess. Yesterday I cleaned my house for 12 hours. And I actually went online and purchased Taylor Swift's new album. And then just basically blasted that on repeat for a couple of hours on well, I take it to the markets actually, my U-Boom speaker. And just, you can carry it around the house and have music with you the whole way. So I did that for a few hours and actually got myself motivated and a little bit more awake. because I don't know, these markets are just taking a toll on me this year. Like, oh my goodness, I am exhausted. And my husband came and worked with me on the weekends, and that's the first time he worked with me. Last year he had to work a day by himself because I was in having my retina reattached. Want want. And he worked a market by himself, having never had worked my booth at all before, but I had to go in for emergency surgery because my retina detached. So anyway, this year he came with me and was working the till, and he just kept saying, I don't know how you do this. This is madness. He's like, you are like, you're going here, you're going there, you're putting this in a bag, you're talking to that person, like, you're making sure that this is in place and that's out, you know, this is run out. So you grab a bin from under there, and then this person wants this, but in a different color. So you're taking custom orders, and you're giving people your phone number, and you're talking about your book. And it was just, I think he has a new appreciation for the scale that I'm at, which was kind of fun. Did you see that corner? You barely have to push this at all on these corners now. Just easy peasy. Go slow. Keep your machine at a steady speed so your machine isn't skipping any stitches. Make sure everything's cleaned out underneath from all the fuzz. Use a new needle. I'm using a, what have I got in here? I think it's a 9014 needle that I've got in here now. It seems to be working good with this fabric. You may have to change your needle out to like 116, or the Janome purple needles work really well as well, and I will put those into my Amazon store link, which you'll be able to find in the video description after this is published, so you can get that. And all the batting and everything you need will be into that link there for you guys if you want to shop on Amazon for some of the supplies. I've just got a little bit of pulling here, so I'm just going to make sure I don't have anything wound up in my back. And you're going to go nice and slow. Keep these, you don't want to push the inside of these together. You just want them placed so that they're snug and consistent. So if you push or pull either of these ways, the rug is going to fold up on you, and you don't want that to happen. So slow and steady wins this race. And the bobbins, I would recommend having at least 3 wound for these big rugs. You might need 4. I might have to wind a bit of a bobbin at the end of this, but so far we're doing okay. We've probably got about a quarter of 1 bobbin left here. I'm going to have to move everything out of the way on this side for the rug because it's going to get quite large here. This is a 40 strip rug. It'll be about 40 inches long. So I guess a good rule of thumb is if you fold the centers like I do into thirds, the rug will be in inches as many strips as it is. So if you have a 20 strip rug and you fold the center like I do, you should have a 20-inch long rug. And that's just folding the center into thirds. Not complicated. I don't try to figure out how to fold the center another way. I just found that that's the easiest way, and then you've got a nice color selection within the center of the rug. And I've sewn off the edge again. My goodness, girl. What the heck? Oh, that's okay. The bobbin's out too. So I thought I had more on that bobbin, but I don't. That's okay. And when I say to myself, my goodness, girl, I'm not beating myself up. I am acting like my best girlfriend who's like, girl, get your head out of your butt and pay attention. Because I think we can all be way, way, way too hard on ourselves. And I've done that whole thing where I've beaten myself up for things that, you know, were probably not that serious. And now I just treat myself like my best girlfriend. The girl that cheers you on, but also tells you when you're being ridiculous. Pay attention to what you are sewing. Okay, here we go. Let's get a little something out of the way here. Move some stuff just in case we need the space. Move my coffee just in case I spill it. And switch back to the regular straight stitch to start the thread again. Back and forth a few times here. You want that rug nice and snug. You don't want things falling apart. Now my nose gets itchy. My goodness. Always something going on here. Okay, let's go. We've had coffee, we've itched our nose, we paid attention, we're watching for comments if they come up on the big screen TV. But I think basically everybody's just settled into watching this rug get finished. And they're just enjoying the process now. So these corners now, you don't have to push at all at this stage. You just need to let that fabric guide itself slowly and steadily around with the sewing machine. Don't push or pull the fabric in any direction. Just let the machine guide it through. It helps to have a very flat table, which in this case I do, obviously. But you can make your own flat table with some boxes. And then tape your boxes together and put on a plastic tablecloth on the top of it, or some clear plastic, just like construction plastic, I guess. You don't want anything too staticky, but you do want the fabric to glide around the machine. Let's just see if that's going to be an issue. No, it should be fine. I saw a little bobble there and I'm like, oh, wait a second, is this going to be something I have to iron? You should be able to sew these flat when you get as many as I've done under your belt. But don't be too worried if you had a tiny little bobble. If you just hit that with an iron and then you let it cool. If you've got a big wave in there, you do not want to mess around. Take it out, start over. Sew it, take it out to where the wave starts, and then if you've ironed it, make sure it cools entirely, and then go again. Hot fabric tends to bend more. So in 5 years from now, Kat, when you've been sewing these rugs, I want to hear from you, even if I'm not here on YouTube, which I think I will be. But you know, life changes. I want to hear from you and be like, how'd you do? How did that go? Are you okay? Do you need therapy? See, there's where that little bump was, and I was able to fix it. But that's just experience. So that's surely just, it's totally just experience. Don't judge yourself based on the fact that I've done this like thousands of times. I'll mark the calendar. Be like, I need to contact that girl and tell her how I did with the crafting business. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for anybody just getting started. And I mean, I teach everything I do here on my channel because I don't want to make this for everybody. I can't. There's way too many people that want this stuff. And I honestly don't think that anybody's going to do it the exact same way and set up a booth beside me. Like, there's room for everyone. And know. Been kind of playing in my head with some different business ideas to, like, I don't know, kind of like franchise as sorts. I don't know. As you grow with your business, you're going to come up with new ideas. Some are going to work out, some aren't going to work out. But I do have like the cutting machines. And I was like, I don't know, would somebody like buy, you know, a whole bunch of cut simple cozies from me and then take them to a market? I don't know. You know, you play with things in your head. Or like put together a whole bunch of kits for people. And I already have sewing kits on my website, but like do it at a scale where people could start their own craft business with my kits. I don't know if that would work. Fun to brainstorm. And not everything is going to work out. You have to say no to some stuff because otherwise you'll say yes to everything and then you'll just be exhausted because you'll be doing everything for everybody every minute of the day. And then weeks later, like in my scenario, I had to clean my house for 12 hours because there was just crap everywhere. And I mean, like, not just like, I needed to wipe out the fridge because our garage fridge is going to freeze and I need to take all the garage food into the house. And our garage fridge is for when we are camping. All right, how are we liking this rug, you guys? At this point, we're just enjoying the process, I understand. Let me know if you have any questions. But it is going fairly smoothly, and if you're just joining the channel right now, we're making a jelly roll rug. The fabric is from Connecting Threads. The video description has how to go to Connecting Threads, plus a discount code for 30% off this fabric. So they have a bunch of different jelly rolls there for sale right now. And we're using Pelon batting with scrim. You need 50 yards of fabric for every 40 strip rug. The thread we're using is a 40 weight high break polyester thread. The machine is the Pfaff Quilt Ambition 635. And this is a live, basically coffee chat sewing afternoon project with just a few of our close viewers here. We do have the channel membership open. It's $2 a month to join. When we reach 150 paid members, we're going to do a draw for the big gift pack, which is here behind me, which we showed earlier in the video. It's valued at 835 Canadian dollars. It's got the AccuQuilt stocking die. It's got a Pfaff quilt box with 2 quilt rulers, rotary cutter, rotary blades, 2 packs of needles, and a rotating cutting mat. We have a jelly roll rug to give away in that prize pack. You'll also receive the Clover fabric tube maker. You receive 2 sets of two Christmas placemats, which are reversible. You'll receive 2 sets of fridge magnets, one with Christmas fabric and one with everyday fabric. You'll receive 2 Christmas tea towels that we sewed on lives already. You'll also receive a copy of my book, From Zero to YouTuber. You'll receive a 20-inch cotton pillow sham in the coral floral fabric. You'll receive 4 soup bowl cozies in the coordinated coral floral fabric. And the soup bowl cozy video tutorial is already up on my channel. And then you'll also receive the Clover fabric tube maker. And finally, there are 2 Christmas cards, which are my original designs as well. This is why you need to check what's coming in. See how this is tied up? This is tension, and this will bugger this up. So make sure that as soon as you feel a little bit of tension of this rug coming through, this fabric coming through, then you need to go fix it. Nice to see even you, who has made thousands of rugs, make mistakes and just fix it, right? I mean, I think it's just a colossal case of get over yourself. I make tons of mistakes. It's it's just like it's sewing. I mean, I sew off the edge. I talk and I thread my bobbin wrong, or you know what? I'm just a human being that makes a lot of rugs and teaches it here on my channel. So it doesn't have to be, we don't have to be so serious all the time. We can just have fun and be nice to each other. So I love this color over and over and over again. I love this color. I'm going to be sad. I'm thinking of my upstairs kitchen and like, could I hide this rug and put this upstairs in my kitchen? I have a rug in my kitchen. I thought I loved it, but I don't anymore. And speaking of mistakes, I've just sewn off the edge again. What the what? So I was dreaming of putting this rug in my kitchen, and then I sewed off the edge. Of course I did. Didn't line it up properly. Dang nabbit. I would rather not make mistakes, but here we are, crushing it with all of the mistakes I made today. And this bobbin is almost empty, but I want to use it up because, you know, thread is expensive and everything counts for money. So you're going to see me do a thread change here in a second too. Money, 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 money. Now, if I was a spectacular sewing channel, I would have pulled that bobbin out and put a new one in. But I don't want to waste my bobbin thread. It's like when the cooking shows pull the perfect product out of the oven that they made like last Tuesday and put some like, you know, spray shine on it. And they're like, look how fabulous this is. And then you try the recipe at home and you're like, this looks nothing like the recipe. What have I done? See, tied up. You don't want that. And that's just because of how, you know, volume of fabric that we chucked into that basket. So if you feel this pulling at all, double check where you're feeding stuff in through, and please do not roll your fabric up into the ball that looks like the ball of yarn. That is a big mistake in my opinion, because it trains your fabric to be twisted, and you would never see a expensive fashion designer roll their fabric up into a ball and then try to sew a gown out of it. It just would not happen. So please don't do that. Because you're going to roll it up into a ball, you're going to leave it in your hot room or your humidity room or wherever, and then next thing you know, it's like being ironed. I'm dropping my scissors on the floor. And your fabric is going to just remember how to stay that way, and then you're going to have a heck of a time trying to sew it. All right. Getting my scissors. Dropping my scissors on the floor. Dropping my scissors on the floor. Okay, I have one more bobbin over here, and I might actually be able to get this done with one more bobbin. Not too bad though. How long have we been on here? And this is a 40 strip rug, and I've been chatting. So would this go quicker if I wasn't talking on the internet? Absolutely. But you know what? I kind of like chatting on the internet. So we've been on for 2 hours. 2 hours to make a 40 strip rug approximately. Like, that's pretty good, you guys. Now, typically, like I said, I would have other machines going on in this room. So I would be making my reindeer. I would be cutting out my Christmas cards or my Mandela art. So I'm double dipping on that. And pretty much if I wasn't talking on the internet, this would be taking like 2 hours, 2:15. And I'm going to sell this rug for 145 Canadian. So I get my fabric at wholesale cost. Most of my fabric I get at wholesale cost because I'm big enough now. Yay me. You know, I'm so big. Flip my hair. But I worked my butt off to be able to get commercial accounts. And so I finally have commercial accounts. So I can get my fabric more affordably. And that keeps my costs down, of course. And so, you know, it's not too bad. And at the Christmas markets, people pay what you put on for pricing. You get the odd person that wants a deal, but those typically are not my customers. My customers come up and they're like, "Hi, I want this," and then they look at the price and they go, "Okay, well they can decide whether or not they can afford it or not afford it." And the people that want a deal are not my regular repeat customers. They're people that just want a deal on everything, and so I typically don't deal on everything because it just opens it up for like people lowballing you, essentially is what it is. I should do a video about, I should write down and then do a video about stupid things that have been said to me at the Christmas market. Would anybody watch that? I'm just curious. Just throwing it out there. If I did a video called All the Stupid That Was Told to Me at the Christmas Market, who would watch that? Okay, so I don't have enough room over here. The fabric was pulling a little bit, so I just folded it. Really not hard. Yes, you would watch that. Where we just, you know, I'm all about positivity and stuff on here, but sometimes you just need to snap. Maybe I should do that as a members only video. So, spill the tea. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, after Christmas markets, I'll start keeping a list, and I'll do it as a members only video, so only the members can see. They have this new thing on YouTube where you can start a video with like the public, and then it after a few minutes it switches over to only members can watch the rest of it. I think that would be funny actually. Because there is some funny stuff that's happened, and then there's some atrocious things that have happened too, and then there's the whole market organizer stuff that is like, oh my gosh, some of the things that went on at this last market, I'm like, this is amateur hour, what the hell. I was watching this morning while I was upstairs having my, you know, coffee little, I'm not quite ready for the day break. You know, I worked 12 hours cleaning my house yesterday. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm not really bitter about it because I love when my house is clean in the morning. But I just can't believe it took 12 hours to like do all the laundry, and it was stuff like wash all the drop sheets that I used at this last Christmas market that were full of dust, right? Full of dust. And at my next market, I don't use those same drop sheets. I actually have to use plastic because it's in a greenhouse. And in the morning, the building will, well, overnight, the building can sweat. So if I just have like drop sheets on my stuff, it can still get wet. So I switch over to plastic, which is fine. I just go and buy cheap plastic tablecloths from the dollar store. And as they get ruined, you just chuck them out. So, you know, perfect. So yeah, it was just stuff like that. And, you know, fill up the dog's feeder bin with, like, she has a big bag of dog food, so that needed to be filled up, and wash out the fridge and take out the garbage. And I had some recycling that needed to basically just get like boxes that needed to get like flattened. Yeah, flattened. To go into the bin properly. And then I want to start decorating for Christmas, so there was some things that I actually had to move around upstairs so that I can get, when I do get my Christmas stuff out, those things are not in the way. So it just was a long day of like going around the house doing absolutely everything that needed to be done. Like I had a couple of taps that really needed, you know, the spouts of them soaked in some vinegar. And all of these things take time, right? I've been neglecting my house for about 5 weeks, and everything just got piled up. And so anyways, this morning I was having a little break, and I was like, where was I with that? I was having a little break this morning, having a little coffee time with my Cocker Spaniel, and I was watching this YouTube channel for sewing, and this, it was fantastic. I can't even remember what it's called. I'm gonna have to go back and like look at my history to figure out what it was called. But his memberships start at, what did they start at? $14.99 a month, and went up to $80 a month. I was like, really? People are making that much money on their YouTube memberships? Mine is $2, folks. $2. Which, you know, puts into the big prize giveaway. So the last time we looked, we had 29 members. And the prize pack right now, when we reach 150 paid members of the channel, is $835. And you'll get sent that huge prize pack. So I think that's going to be a pretty good deal. I think we can make a lot of friends. I think, you know, as the new year comes up and everything, where I'm more consistent because I have more time and I'm not at Christmas markets, things will really start to take off. People are more in tune to like be sitting around crafting in January and February as well. Although part of January I will be gone to Cancun. Yay! So we're coming up to the end here of the rug. It is getting a little bit heavy, so don't be afraid to just flip this over. Make sure you've got the weight distributed evenly. You don't want the rug to be pushing or pulling, and you'll be able to see it because, like, if you push this, you can see it come up here. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Just flop your rug over like this and keep everything going in at the same speed. Take a little weight off of it maybe, but don't push. Make sense? So if you like this channel, make sure you're telling a friend, share the videos. I have a whole bunch of new short videos that just went up this last week as well that are doing really well. So if my regular viewers can go and leave some comments on those videos as well. They're with the blue rug specifically. Those new shorts are new. You can go and leave some comments and share that video. Share it to your Pinterest account. If you girls have Pinterest accounts. If you don't have a Pinterest account and you're starting your own business, I highly recommend starting a Pinterest account. And I've got videos on the channel here for how to start the Pinterest, but how to use Tailwind, which is the scheduling app as well, to get you going on that even quicker. My Pinterest has about 40, well, I just looked the other day, it had 40,000 monthly views on my Pinterest account. So that's not nothing because I have my products on there, that's true, but I also promote my YouTube videos on there. So any outside traffic that comes into YouTube from different sources, YouTube likes that. So post your videos on other platforms. And the sooner you start Pinterest, the more successful you will be. Especially if you're crafting, because, you know, Pinterest, crafting goes hand in hand. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that wasn't tied up a little bit there. And we're off to the races here. If this bobbin runs out, I'm not going to bore you with winding another bobbin. I will do that off camera. But basically, we're at the end of this rug, and I think we've got 3 strips here left to sew. 3 or 4. Pretty close here, and I'm just trying to keep an eye because if I am going to go off or things are going to get twisted, it'll be on this last little bit, right? And I don't want to have to tear anything out because honestly I'm too busy for that. So I just want to make sure I'm doing everything as good as I possibly can. And then, yeah, I am going to have to wind a bobbin for sure. I've got 2 strips of green to go around the edge of this. Any questions, comments, or concerns? I'm going to finish up the video as soon as my bobbin runs out. And get on with my day here. much left and the bobbin's gonna run out. So close. I don't think it's gonna be one of those, everybody's seen those videos where, you know, the person has like one stitch left and their bobbin just has just enough for that one stitch. I don't think I'm gonna be that lucky, but hey, it is what it is. We did pretty. And then of course I'm gonna flip the rug over and make sure I haven't missed any of the fold on this side. This machine does it so well. I hardly ever have any of those. But you know, nobody's perfect, and I can, well, I'm gonna make sure I double check my work is what I'm gonna do. It's the bobbin that will not end here. Oh my goodness. We're doing it. Nope. We're this much short. Ah, dang. Okay. Well, you guys get the gist. That's funny. Almost. Okay, so here is our big, beautiful rug. This fabric, again, is from Connecting Threads. And you can go and purchase the fabric from the link in the video description. Ta-da! Ta-da! Voila! Presenting the Jelly Roll rug. Okay. Well, thanks for being here, you guys. I'm going to hitch up my britches and take all the fluff off. All the things. So do we have any... 9 watching. 2 hours. Huh. I'm sure it's a little over 2 hours now. I can't see exactly how long you're doing. It's E-N-E, just so you know. Jolene, E-N-E. But thank you. It is beautiful. I agree. I don't know if I'm going to sell it. Should I sell it? I mean, there's always more fabric, but I really like this fabric. And it's the last one. I'm going to pout. But you can't keep everything you make or you won't make any money. Autocorrect. You're fine. You're totally fine. I don't mind. And I don't expect people to know like everything. Like, come on. We're definitely just not that self-absorbed at all. So, okay, so that's it for today's video. And I don't know if I'll come back later. I don't know. I have tea towels to sew. Do you want me to show you guys the tea towels? I have so much to sew, it's ridiculous. I'm going to show you the tea towels because they're, this is my new fabric line. It's really freaking pretty. Really, 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 really pretty. Okay, here's some towels. So that would be the towel. Here's another towel. Very pretty. I'm just going to twist this here so you guys can see some of this fabric. Then I have this whole line of fabric. I'll get the other two so you can see. Because I have, these are just part bolts, but then I have these two as well. So, I do have to sew some tea towels. I'm just not sure when I'm going to do it. Okay, you guys, I think that's going to be it for this video for sure. I'm going to end it. And welcome to the live chat. Oh, did I just kick myself out of the video? All right, we'll see you in the next video, you guys. Have a great day.